Money doesn't make you wealthy. It only amplifies who you already are. Give a fool a fortune and you'll have a broke fool soon enough. Give a wise man the same fortune and he'll multiply it, because wisdom sustains what luck can only create. So the goal isn't just to make money, it's to become the kind of person who can handle it, grow it, and use it for good. And here's the truth. The path to wealth is slow, deliberate, and deeply personal. It's built one decision, one discipline, one day at a time. You can't microwave maturity or rush the harvest. The seed must grow before the fruit appears. And that growth, that invisible transformation, happens in your mind first. So tonight, I don't want you to focus on chasing wealth. I want you to focus on becoming wealthy in thought, in discipline, in gratitude. Because when you change the inner world, the outer world has no choice but to adjust. Remember this, money doesn't change you, it reveals you. So build the kind of character that wealth can trust. And when that happens, freedom won't just visit your life, it will stay. Let me tell you something I learned the hard way. Life doesn't reward effort, it rewards growth. You can work 12 hours a day swinging a hammer and still be broke at the end of the year. But one person working 4 hours a day, thinking, planning, learning, can build a business that earns while he sleeps. It's not the hours that make you rich, it's the value you bring into those hours. That's what separates the exhausted from the prosperous. I used to believe, like most people, that if I just worked harder, things would change. I thought if I showed up early, stayed late, gave more sweat, I'd earn more success. But one day, a mentor of mine looked me straight in the eye and said, "You don't get paid for your time, you get paid for the value you bring to your time." That one sentence changed my life. I realized I didn't need to work harder. I needed to become better. See, the marketplace is fair. It doesn't care about your needs, your background, or how long you've been struggling. It only asks, "What can you do for me?" That's a tough truth, but it's also liberating. Because if you can grow, you can earn. If you can become more skilled, more aware, more valuable, the market will chase you instead of you chasing opportunity. You can't demand more pay until you demand more growth from yourself. Now, let's get practical. If you're serious about changing your financial future, set a personal rule. Study one new high-value skill every quarter. That's only 4 new skills a year. But imagine the compound effect over 5 years. Learn communication, leadership, sales, investing, digital creation, skills that turn effort into leverage. When you grow your ability, you multiply your time. That's how 1 hour of your work can be worth 1,000 of someone else's. But here's the catch. You must measure your growth. Every week, ask yourself, am I more valuable than I was last week? Not did I work harder, that's the wrong question. Ask, did I learn something new? Did I improve my attitude? Did I strengthen my discipline? Because growth isn't automatic, it's intentional. You don't drift into wisdom, you decide to pursue it. And yes, it takes sacrifice. You'll have to exchange some entertainment for education, trade comfort for curiosity. But remember, a few years of focused growth can buy you a lifetime of freedom. The movies and the games will still be there later, but opportunity doesn't wait. It rewards those who prepare. So the next time you feel tired, don't just rest. Reflect. Ask yourself, is my work making me better or just busier? Because effort without growth is labor, but growth turns effort into wealth. And when you commit to becoming more valuable each day, you'll discover something extraordinary. Wealth doesn't need to be chased. It starts chasing you. Everything begins in the mind. The victories, the defeats, the wealth, the poverty, Your outer world is nothing more than a mirror reflecting your inner thoughts. That's why I often say, stand guard at the door of your mind. If you let doubt, fear, and limitation walk through freely, don't be surprised when they start living there rent-free. You can't expect a rich life to grow from poor thoughts. You can't plant seeds of scarcity and expect a harvest of abundance. I remember a time early in my life when my biggest problem wasn't money, it was thinking. My thoughts were small, and so were my results. I used to say things like, I can't afford that, or that's too much for me. I didn't realize that every time I said it, I was programming my subconscious to believe I was unworthy of more. One day, I was told, don't say I can't afford it. Instead, ask, how can I afford it? That question turned on a light in my mind. It shifted me from defeat to creativity. It made me realize that wealth doesn't come to those who complain. It comes to those who construct solutions. Your beliefs act like a thermostat. If your financial thermostat is set too low, no matter how much money you make, you'll find a way to return to the level your mind feels comfortable with. That's why lottery winners go broke and self-made millionaires can lose everything and rebuild again. It's not the money that makes the person, it's the mindset. Wealth follows identity. If you believe you're a creator, you'll act like one. If you believe you're a victim, you'll live like one. So how do you start changing the way you think? Begin by feeding your mind before you feed your wallet. Read one good mindset book every month. Study philosophy, psychology, wealth-building principles. Books are like mentors, silent teachers that reshape how you see yourself in the world. The right idea at the right time can be worth more than a decade of hard labor. When I started reading consistently, my income didn't change overnight, but I did, and soon everything else followed. Then, watch who you spend your time with. If you walk with people who talk problems, you'll inherit their problems. If you surround yourself with people who talk possibilities, you'll start to think in terms of opportunity. Association is powerful. It's either lifting you or limiting you. The rich guard their conversations because they know that words build worlds. So if your financial life isn't where you want it to be, don't start with your wallet. Start with your thoughts. Money is a reflection, not a cause. When your mind expands, your life follows. Stand guard at the door of your mind. Be careful what you let in, because once an idea takes root, it starts shaping everything. Your habits, your attitude, and ultimately, your wealth. Think rich before you become rich, because that's how every fortune begins, with a single, powerful thought. Discipline is where freedom begins. Most people think freedom means doing whatever you want, whenever you want. But that's not freedom. That's chaos. True freedom is the ability to do what must be done, whether you feel like it or not. Discipline is the invisible bridge that takes you from desire to achievement. It's what turns intention into reality, dreams into income, and effort into results. Without it, even the best goals remain trapped in the realm of someday. When I was young, I used to look for shortcuts, a faster way to wealth, a magic formula for success. But over time, I discovered something profound. There is no shortcut. The path is discipline. Every financial problem I ever faced could be traced back to a broken discipline. Spending more than I earned, not keeping track of my money, skipping a day of learning that turned into a week, then a month. Success, too, could always be traced to the same thing. Daily, consistent, boring, unglamorous discipline. The kind of discipline that few applaud, but everyone respects once the results arrive. You see, money doesn't respond to wishes. It responds to structure. If you don't tell your money where to go, it will find a way to disappear. That's why saving before spending is not just a financial rule, it's a life principle. Every time you save a portion of what you earn, you're telling the universe, I can be trusted with more. Most people do it backward. They spend freely and save what's left, but there's rarely anything left. The wealthy reverse it. They save and invest first, then spend what's left. The order makes all the difference. Discipline isn't only about money. It's about character. It's the ability to make yourself do the right thing long enough for it to matter. The small daily acts of reading, planning, and executing might not feel like much today, but over time they become unstoppable momentum. The man who reads 10 pages a day might not notice a change in a week, but give him a year, and he's a different person. The one who saves a small portion consistently may not feel rich at first, but give him 5 years, and he'll have choices that others only dream about. And here's the truth. Progress compounds when measured. What gets tracked gets improved. Write down your habits, your goals, your spending, your progress. Don't just think about them. Record them. The act of tracking is a form of accountability. It forces honesty. It's how you turn vague intentions into tangible results. I often say, discipline weighs ounces, but regret weighs tons. The price of discipline may seem heavy today, but the pain of regret will break you tomorrow. So choose your pain wisely. Build your life on discipline, because when you do, freedom becomes inevitable. Remember, the dream is free, but the discipline must be earned. And once you master it, there is no goal, no level of wealth, and no life of freedom that's out of your reach. Money in itself is neutral. It's neither good nor bad. It simply takes on the character of the person who holds it. If a fool gets rich, he becomes a richer fool. But if a man of wisdom and integrity builds wealth, that money becomes a tool for good, for growth, for service, for freedom. The truth is, money doesn't change you, it amplifies you. It reveals the kind of person you already are. That's why before you grow your wealth, you must grow your character. Because money grows best in the soil of character. When I started out, I was chasing success, but I hadn't yet learned about trust. I wanted opportunity, but I didn't yet understand responsibility. I learned quickly that people don't do business with ideas. They do business with people they trust. You can have the best product, the sharpest strategy, the perfect timing, and still fail if your character isn't solid. But if your word is good, if your integrity is unquestionable, and if people know you'll deliver more than you promise, doors open that talent alone could never unlock. Character, like money, compounds. Every time you keep your word, even when it's inconvenient, you deposit into your reputation account. Every time you deliver more than you're paid for, you build invisible equity in the marketplace. People remember that, they talk about it, and soon opportunities start to find you. The market is fair that way. It rewards reliability, consistency, and honesty. It doesn't always happen overnight, but it always happens in time. You see, character is the foundation of lasting wealth. Without it, money becomes unstable, like building a mansion on sand. I've met people who made fortunes quickly, only to lose them faster because their foundation was built on shortcuts and schemes. But those who grow slowly, with integrity, with discipline, with a reputation for excellence, they sleep well at night, and their wealth lasts generations. That's because the strength of your wealth is only as strong as the strength of your word. So start simple. Keep your promises, even the small ones. If you say you'll call at 5, call at 5. If you say you'll deliver on Friday, deliver on Friday. or earlier. It may not seem like much, but those small acts build the foundation of greatness. People trust the man who follows through. They invest in him. They refer him. They open doors for him. Trust is the currency of real wealth. And once you have it, the flow of money becomes natural, not forced. Guard your reputation like your most valuable asset, because it is. Money can be lost and regained. Reputation, once broken, is difficult to rebuild. Every choice, every deal, every word spoken adds to or subtracts from it. Make sure every transaction, every interaction reflects your highest values. In the end, success is not measured by what you get, but by who you become. Build yourself first, then build your fortune, because character will always outlast cash. When your name carries weight, your wealth will follow naturally. Money is attracted to integrity the way flowers are drawn to sunlight, quietly, consistently, and inevitably. You can always tell the difference between someone chasing wealth and someone building it by how they treat a single dollar. Most people see money as something to spend, a tool for pleasure, escape, or display. But those who truly understand wealth see money as something to grow, to multiply, to set free so it can bring back more of its own kind. You see, the poor spend and save what's left. The rich save and invest first, then spend what remains. It's not the size of your paycheck that determines your future. It's the direction of your habits. I remember a time in my early days when every bit of income went right out the door. Rent, bills, a few pleasures, maybe something I didn't really need but thought I deserved. It felt good for a moment, but I'd always end up back at zero, wondering why life didn't seem to move forward. Then I met a man who told me something simple but profound. It's not what you earn that makes you rich. It's what you keep and what you grow. He taught me to treat every dollar like an employee, to give each one a job, a purpose, a mission to bring back more dollars. That idea changed my life. I began to think differently about money. I learned that a dollar spent on pleasure disappears, but a dollar invested keeps working day and night, through weekends and holidays. Never asking for rest, never demanding vacation. That's how wealth works. You make money work harder than you do. While you sleep, it labors. While you rest, it grows. The question is, are your dollars working or are they unemployed? The poor mindset is built around consumption. I earned it, so I deserve to enjoy it. The wealthy mindset is built around growth. I earned it, so I must multiply it. The first brings temporary comfort, the second builds permanent freedom. Every time you choose to invest instead of indulge, you plant a seed that one day will grow into a forest of options. Study compounding, not just as a financial concept, but as a life philosophy. A single act of discipline repeated over years can transform your destiny. The same goes for money. Let time become your silent partner. The earlier you begin, the lighter your labor will be later. But most people never learn this secret because they're too focused on the next purchase, not the next possibility. You don't have to start big. You just have to start. Save a small portion of everything you earn, then invest it in something that grows. Your skills, your business, your knowledge, or your portfolio. Let that habit compound. Over time, you'll discover a new sense of peace. The peace that comes from knowing your money is working for you, not against you. Wealth is not an accident, it's a result of order. When you master your money, you master your future. Every dollar has potential. It can either serve your short-term pleasure or your long-term freedom. Choose wisely, because money will always obey your philosophy. Treat it as a servant, not a master, and it will make you free forever. When I was young, I used to think life would get easier once I made more money. But the truth is, life doesn't get easier. The marketplace doesn't pay for effort, struggle, or time. It pays for solutions. That's one of the greatest lessons you can ever learn about building wealth. People don't hand over their money because you worked hard. They pay because you made their lives easier, faster, or more enjoyable. The moment you understand this, everything about how you work and think begins to change. I once worked long hours, thinking the man who toiled most would surely rise fastest. But I noticed something strange. The hardest workers often stayed broke, and the thinkers, the solvers, the innovators, they were the ones who climbed. One day a mentor told me, "You don't get paid for the hours you work, you get paid for the value you bring to those hours." That sentence shifted my life. You see, the difference between a $10 an hour job and a $1,000 an hour opportunity isn't time, it's value. It's the ability to solve problems that others can't, won't, or don't know how to. The world runs on problems. They are everywhere. Every business, every product, every service exists because someone somewhere decided to solve a problem better than anyone else. The poor complain about problems, the wealthy collect them like treasure maps. Why? Because every problem you solve multiplies your worth. If you want to earn more, stop asking, "Why don't I get paid enough?" and start asking, "What problem can I solve that's worth more?" That's how the marketplace works. Then, it's not sentimental, it's mathematical. If you bring little value, you earn little. Bring great value, and wealth follows naturally. The secret is to grow your capacity. The more problems you can solve, the more indispensable you become. From mastering your craft so well that others trust you with their hardest challenges. I remember when I first started speaking, I wasn't very good, nervous, unsure, constantly second-guessing myself. But I decided to study communication, psychology, persuasion, to understand not just what to say, but why it mattered. Slowly, I began to notice the shift. The same words, delivered with greater understanding, began to move people. The more problems I solved for others, the more valuable I became to the world. So take inventory of your field, your job, your business, your craft. Find 3 problems that most people complain about and learn how to fix them better than anyone else. Study, practice, build mastery, because every problem mastered becomes a promotion in disguise. The universe hides opportunity inside difficulty, waiting for someone wise enough to unwrap it. Don't wish for fewer challenges, wish for greater skill. Don't pray for an easy life, pray for the strength to rise above a hard one. Because when you become the person who solves instead of struggles, money, success, and influence will begin to chase you. The marketplace never fails to reward the person who makes life better for others. And that, my friend, is the real key to prosperity. I've often said we all must suffer one of 2 pains: the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. But here's the truth I learned early in life. Discipline weighs ounces, regret weighs tons. You see, discipline might sting for a moment. Getting up early when it's still dark, saving when you'd rather spend, reading when you'd rather rest, but regret that one lasts a lifetime. It whispers to you when the lights are off and the years have gone. It says you could have, you should have, you didn't, and there's no heavier burden than the one that begins with if only. When I was a young man working as a clerk, I met a gentleman who lived just a few blocks away. Same town, same air, same opportunities,